Well, and then next year, you and Young Thug got into it.
Yeah.
Was it over Young Thug beefing with Lil Wayne?
Wayne, man.
And you and Wayne are close. Wayne's tour bus got shot up.
Yeah.
So things were escalating.
I didn't like that.
You come out here and get this money, don't you? Well, money. You did everything you could do, bro. It's an eye-opener, bro.
When he was beefing with Thug, I just, I jumped in that.
But in 2015, somebody decided to show no love to Mr. Carter and shoot up his tour bus after a show in Atlanta.
Have you ever questioned if Young Thug's intense attacks on Lil Wayne in 2015 were due to music, or if there was more going on behind the notorious tour bus shooting? The game is finally showing why Thug singled out Wayne, and I promise you that you won't want to miss this story because it's full of drama, treachery, and loyalty. Let's examine how it all happened and what actually caused the chaos between these two rap giants. In July 2015, while Lil Wayne was in Atlanta, a shooting on his tour bus occurred on Interstate 285, just outside of the city. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the incident caused massive damage to the buses, totaling about $20,000 in damage. It was a terrifying moment, but even more terrifying was how deeply the ties to Young Thug and Birdman go.
Fired at the tour bus of Grammy-winning rapper Lil Wayne on the 26th of April. Footage from the NBC affiliate in Atlanta, Georgia, showed several bullet holes in the side of the bus, but no injuries were reported. The station said that the shots were fired at the bus as it was traveling through Cobb County, Georgia.
Jimmy Winfrey, also known as Pee Wee Roscoe, who was Young Thug's tour manager at the time, allegedly took matters into his own hands when the bus was being escorted out of Atlanta by police. When the police escort left the scene, Winfrey was reported to have followed the buses and then opened fire. Cell phone records connected him to Young Thug and Birdman, suggesting that they were more involved in the incident than anyone first realized. This wasn't just a random act of violence. It was personal.
It's a Vlad interview, man, so everybody's going to see this. It's going to do its numbers, especially since it's Vlad in game. I don't know who we've been interviewing lately, but my name, your name together is going to do a different kind of...
As we examine Winfrey's relationships in greater detail, the plot becomes more complex. The main roles in this case were Young Thug and Birdman, who were cited as uncharged co-conspirators in the shooting, according to prosecutors and others familiar with the case. Before and after the event, Winfrey apparently called both guys numerous times, but that's not all. The fact that Winfrey later claimed that Birdman was the one who started the whole thing because of his financial issues with Lil Wayne tells a completely different story than the fact that Birdman has repeatedly denied any involvement in the shooting, denied knowing Winfrey's whereabouts, and claimed that the call from Winfrey was a misunderstanding. Winfrey went so far as to imply that Birdman should be held responsible for the crime. It wasn't just empty rhetoric. Winfrey was actively involved in all of this. And as time passed, the shooting began to become a focal point in the YSL case, with many speculating about the roles that Young Thug and Birdman played. Now, let's talk about the game. You see, the game wasn't just an innocent bystander in all of this. He got directly involved. The game has been a longtime friend of Lil Wayne, and when Young Thug began shooting at Wayne, the game couldn't stand by and let his friend be treated disrespectfully, so he jumped in to defend him.
But with him, it's the way that I feel about Wayne in music is the way that I feel about Wayne out of music. That is my brother. Him and Mac, we might as well be blood related.
As the game explained, if you're a true friend, you don't sit around and let people mess with your people. Therefore, when Young Thug came for Wayne, the game couldn't just remain silent because he made it clear that he's more outspoken about beefs than Wayne is, which is why he stepped in. He said that if Wayne was being disrespected, he had to speak up for him. It was that simple. If you can't defend your friends, then what's the point of friendship?
Because those my dogs. They've been holding me down since my introduction to hip hop, and all the way through it, never change. Anytime I call Wayne, he gonna show up for me or anything I need for the kids or just anything, man.
Young Thug and Lil Wayne have been at odds for months, so it's unclear why exactly he targeted him in 2015. Young Thug caused a stir when he announced that the title of his upcoming album, Carter 6, would be a direct reference to Lil Wayne's iconic Carter album series. At the time, Wayne was involved in a $50 million lawsuit with Birdman and Cash Money Records, and he had begun publicly criticizing Birdman.
I understand that Lil Wayne is frustrated about his career, and I feel him on that, but this is my idol. I wouldn't ever in my life swap words with him or beef with him about nothing. This is a person that I look up to.
As Birdman's new protege, Thug had obviously taken sides. He saw it as a sign of loyalty to fight back against Wayne in any way he could, and the album title was the perfect way to do so. However, the feud didn't end there. When Young Thug performed in Wayne's hometown of New Orleans, the crowd reportedly chanted for Lil Wayne while he was on stage, which only fueled the flames and quickly escalated things even further.
This motherfucker, y'all let him know I said, your money! Going any further, I want y'all to do me a favor and stop listening to songs that post naked on their money.
Wayne had a show in Atlanta the night of the shooting, Thug's hometown. Winfrey and the rest of the YSL crew allegedly left a place called The Vault in Atlanta, got into cars, and drove to the compound where Wayne was performing. There was a fight, and Winfrey was removed from the venue, but the situation didn't finish there. After the police escort left, Winfrey allegedly got into a car with an assault rifle and chased down Wayne's buses. According to reports, Winfrey's actions were heavily premeditated. The numerous calls that were made between Winfrey, Young Thug, and Birdman before and after the shooting paint a picture of a well-planned attack, which is where the rumors about Thug and Birdman's involvement really took off. However, Winfrey's role wasn't the only thing that raised questions. His ties to the YSL camp were scrutinized, and fans began to wonder how deep this conflict really was.
Yeah, we're at exit 19. We had shots fired at a tour bus that we were driving.
After pleading guilty to several crimes connected to the shooting, Winfrey's conviction was later overturned, which increased public awareness of the case. In 2020, Winfrey entered an Alfred plea, claiming his innocence, but still facing some repercussions. After spending time for the accusations, he was released. But now that the YSL trial is underway, his name is once again in the public eye.
Shut up tour buses belonging to the rapper Lil Wayne pleaded guilty and accepted a 10-year prison sentence. He had until today to take a deal.
Authorities suspect Winfrey may have had direct involvement in the shooting because she was connected to a series of conversations she had with Young Thug before and after the incident. Although neither Birdman nor Young Thug has been officially charged in the shooting, prosecutors have suggested that Winfrey's actions were part of a larger conspiracy involving them. Despite this, there is a noticeable sense of tension as everyone watches Winfrey's trial, particularly since he has already alluded to Birdman's possible involvement in earlier statements. Could Winfrey testify against Thug and Birdman? That is the key question.
Orozco will spend 10 years in prison. The district attorney here in Cobb County believes the gang problem is getting out of control in Cobb and really the metro. We told you about a case last week.
It's difficult to avoid wondering about Young Thug's underlying motivations while considering the 2015 shooting. The conflict between him and Lil Wayne was a struggle for loyalty and respect rather than merely for an album title. The fact that Wayne's legal battles with Birdman were getting more intense in 2015 gave Thug the opportunity to defend his mentor and possibly even prove himself. But the real question is, did Young Thug go too far? Was the shooting really about loyalty, or was it about something deeper, like a battle for power in the rap game? The indictment against Winfrey suggests that Wayne was targeted as part of a larger scheme, rather than just some random act of violence. Thug had already shown where his loyalties lay by aligning himself with Birdman and Cash Money.
Lil Wayne versus Cash Money case, when the judge ordered Birdman to pull out the receipts for millions Wayne says he never saw.
Let's now discuss Birdman and his purported involvement in this whole matter. Birdman, who has a lengthy relationship with both Wayne and Thug, is a crucial player in this whole scenario. According to Winfrey's evidence in court documents, it has been argued that Birdman's feud with Wayne may have been the driving force behind the shooting. Birdman may have played a significant role in escalating Thug and Wayne's hostility. Although Birdman has refuted all of these claims, Winfrey even went so far as to say that he offered him financial incentives to carry out the shooting, including a $250,000 payment and a Porsche.
Birdman saying, "Here's $250,000 and a brand new Porsche. You did everything you needed."
The idea that Birdman may have been the puppet master behind the scenes is further supported by a leaked conversation in which Birdman allegedly told Winfrey, "It's time for you to come out here and get your money, man. You've done everything you could do." Although he initially played down his involvement in the shooting, Winfrey's claims and the release of the $250,000 offer have left many wondering if Birdman was more involved than he is willing to acknowledge. If any of these claims turn out to be accurate, the legal ramifications for both Birdman and Young Thug could be severe.
Birdman said, that was for something different. So they go over to Young Thug. Young Thug says he was doing a show in a whole another state and he truly has nothing to do with it.
Even though Lil Wayne was the primary target of the notorious 2015 tour bus shooting, other people were also impacted by the event's aftermath. As part of the fallout from that night, bus driver Alvin Lewis was also enmeshed in the confusion and was profoundly affected by the violence. Lewis filed a lawsuit against Birdman, Young Thug, and other individuals involved in the shooting. In addition to endangering Wayne's life, seeking justice for the anguish he endured from the shooting also put Lewis in direct. According to the lawsuit, Lewis was on the front lines of the attack while working as a bus driver in harm's way and was afraid for his life. Lewis claims that the defendants put him in immediate danger of dying and suffering serious injuries. He explained how the attack on the bus put him in grave danger without any warning or reason other than Wayne and Young Thug's existing feud.
New civil court filing we obtained, the driver's attorney points to phone records showing Young Thug called Winfrey 8 times in the moments before the shooting. They also point to this jailhouse call between Winfrey and Birdman.
However, the physical and psychological costs didn't stop there. Lewis stated that in addition to the physical and psychological harm, he was still dealing with the aftermath of the shooting, including agony, suffering, and even medical bills. In his lawsuit filed in Georgia's Cobb County State Court, Lewis claimed that the incident led to lost wages and damage to his personal and professional property, which had a lasting effect on his life and career. Lewis also sought compensation for the emotional toll the shooting took on him, in addition to the physical harm he suffered. The lawsuit covers several important charges, such as battery, breach of contract, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Lewis claims that the defendants, who are allegedly involved in the shooting, caused him significant emotional distress that has affected him for a long time. The lawsuit is seeking unspecified damages, meaning that Lewis is not only seeking compensation for medical bills or lost wages, but also for the broader emotional and physical trauma caused by the shooter.
The musician that was the intended target has never once said these guys did it or there was a beef. This is just a bus driver looking to get paid and they need a deep pocket. So if you can connect Mr. Winfrey to some other musicians or executives, that makes it a viable case for them.
Due to all of the legal issues surrounding him, this whole incident has had a significant influence on Young Thug's career on both a personal and professional level. In October 2024, Young Thug made a crucial decision by accepting a plea deal for charges that allowed him to avoid a lengthy prison sentence instead of facing years behind bars. He was granted a 15-year probationary sentence and released from jail. This was a significant shift, offering him a chance to rebuild his life and career. But even though this may seem like a relief, it's important to note that Thug's past is far from erased. He has already been denied bail multiple times, and his involvement in the 2015 Lil Wayne tour bus shooting has only added to the chaos that fans and industry insiders have witnessed as his promising career seemed to fall apart in real time. The question now is whether Young Thug can regain control of his career, or if his past will continue to cast a shadow over his future in the rap game. In a recent interview, YSL Mondo shared his thoughts on the complex relationship between Lil Wayne and Young Thug. His probation requires him to stay out of trouble for the next 15 years, but the YSL case is still ongoing, and his every move is scrutinized. When he first met Thug, Wayne wasn't exactly hospitable. In fact, Mondo said that Wayne was distant from Thug and the other members of the YSL crew, never really paying them much attention, even when they were all in the same room. Thug and his team tried to figure out why Wayne did that, and Mondo surmised that it wasn't necessarily personal, but rather that he didn't see them as equals. Since Wayne was at the top of his game at the time, he may have seen Thug and his group as just another group of upstarts trying to establish themselves, in Mondo's eyes. However, Mondo believes that this distant behavior may also have been motivated by jealousy or insecurity, because with Birdman supporting him and young Thug beginning to rise, Wayne may have seen him as a potential threat who might steal his swag or imitate his style.
Bird got him around, so he probably was looking at Bird sideways like, you bringing another who sounded like me or want to be like me. But I could be wrong, but just how I was thinking. Like, I was trying to give bro different options to think.
Mondo clarified that Wayne might have felt a certain way about Birdman bringing someone around who, to him, might have sounded like him, or perhaps attempted to fill his shoes, which was especially sensitive. For Wayne, considering the ongoing conflict with Birdman, who was now actively involved with Thug, it's evident that the relationship was tense long before the notorious 2015 shooting, and it's probable that these underlying issues played a role in Wayne and Young Thug's eventual fallout. What began as a fight for loyalty and respect in the rap game escalated into a violent incident that affected a much larger number of people than we could have predicted. Young Lil Wayne and Thug Birdman. In addition to producing one of the most notorious shootings in hip-hop history, their complex web of turmoil left Wayne. What does this mean for Young Thug's future and career? Will Birdman's participation ever truly end? Young Thug, Birdman, and even innocent people like Alvin Lewis are paying the price. Emerge. And how will Wayne proceed with all of this turmoil? Do you believe there is more to this tale that we haven't yet heard? Please share your opinions in the comments section below, and don't forget to smash that like button. And a subscribe button to keep up with the most recent drama. Remember to watch the next video on the end screen. There will be more exciting information there.